Good day, guys. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, I have NASDAQ 100, brand new week, brand new analysis. And as always, I hope that you guys, by the end of this video, are gonna know, what to do for the coming week, or rather, you're gonna know how to analyze and trade and prepare for this week. Okay, so let's get right into the video, right? So, um. I'm on the 1 hour time frame, okay, you guys. So first thing that you want to do is always, like I say, make sure that you restart your chart, clean your chart, make sure it's clean. All right. So here, as usual, I prefer to day trade NASDAQ. Swing trade a little bit if everything aligns well, but I prefer to day trade, okay? And before we even get started, okay, let's do the zooming out thing. Okay, for those who are new here, right, the first thing that you have to do, you have to zoom out 3 to 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then reason behind this is so that we get some some price action that we can be able to analyze this and work with. Okay, so from here, right, although I should point out that at times the price action or that the price may not be clear when you zoom out 3 to 4 times, you can just uh do the next step, like go to the 4 hour time frame, just like here, right? Yes, I could say, like, you know what, let's work with this. Do the what we do after you zoom out 3 to 4 times, mark your highest point and your lowest point on the chart that you see. So here, this is what you will see. Okay, the highest point, lowest point, then you mark that, right? You can see that this is indeed a bullish market structure, but like I'm saying, it's a little bit confusing. Yes, we can see that this is a bullish market structure. Then when you try to trace the market here, as you can see, you kind of like have um a lot of price action here. Okay, so something like this. And although yes, you could work with this, right? But again, I just want to give you guys some few pointers on here, right? If you don't understand this, right, you can just do this. So remove that, restart the chart, and you could go to your 4 hour, okay? So with the 4 hour, just make sure that your chart is restarted. With this one, you don't have to zoom out. Usually, most of the times, 99% of the time, you don't have to zoom out extra. You just restart the chart. You work with whatever you have here, okay? And then you mark the lowest point, okay? Then you mark the highest point here, okay? So before we get started here, okay, guys, I just wanna, let's talk about the previous video. Like, I think we posted, okay, let me say the previous video that I posted on NASDAQ. It should be somewhere here on the screen or somewhere, okay, or the link to that, or the link is gonna be on the description below. Or just check that out. But I wanna say that in the trades leading up to all that, last week trades. We had a beautiful, beautiful trading week, especially on NASDAQ, right? So I remember we were somewhere here, right? I remember this very well. We were somewhere here, and then I told you guys that since we're on a bullish market structure, right? You have to actually look for buys, right? And I remember the market was somewhere here. Okay, let me just see if I can. Okay, let me use this. So we were somewhere here. Okay, this was how or rather where the highest point was on the last time I analyzed this, right? So I remember I told you guys on the video also, like, you know what, let's rather look for buys only, right? Ignore any temporarily selling point. The only time you should be taking a sales is if you get a break below this one here. And if I can just point this out, rather somewhere here, use a color that is like clear. Okay. can even use the red one. Yeah. Okay. I was like, you know what? As long as the price is still above this higher low, you can still look for buys, right? And the perfect place to actually get your buys would be here, right? Then the market it was playing around before it actually gave us that movement, right? So here, remember, I think maybe here took a little buy, then the market retraced. Then I was just like, you know what, let's just wait until we come here. And when the market finally did come here, right? We were looking for those buys, and we actually used some point from the concept of supply and demand, right? Which we're able to identify that no, this is an area of demand, especially also on the daily time frame. You're gonna have to check that out on your own time, okay, you guys? So this right here, right, is an area of demand, right? For those who don't know, it means that this is an area where it contains buying opportunities. All right. So this is where we actually saw the things, sent the signal there, took this trade. This was a beautiful, beautiful setup. Took buys here, went up with it. It should be here on the screen. You should be seeing, some of the results. It's a beautiful trade, you guys. So yeah. And then yeah, anyway, that's enough about that. I just showed you guys that so that you can see that whatever I'm showing you here, guys, it's something that I personally do too, and this is what I sent to the the VIP groups also, all that stuff. So again, if you wanna be part of um our VIP membership, just make sure that you WhatsApp us, purchase us. Everything's here on the screen. And let's get right into today's or this coming week's, analysis and all that stuff. All right. So yeah, so as I was saying here, you have to mark your lowest point and your highest point right there. Then the next step here usually is to actually trace this market, or rather before you get there, you just have to understand that the price always moves from the left going to the right, right? So then starting here, right here, follow my mouse, starting here, just check where is the price starting. Is it starting here at the lowest point or at the highest point, right? So as you can see, it's starting at the lowest point, meaning that you're gonna start tracing or following, or rather reading the price from the lowest point going to the highest point. Okay, so this quick takeaway here, it tells us that no, this is a bullish market structure. This is an uptrend. It's moving in a series of high highs and high lows. All right. Then now we can actually start to trace this, or rather connect these higher highs and high lows. Remember, you have to connect the most obvious ones, which is the one that you can see clear. All right. Then here, uh, this is where it kind of gets tricky. All right, I'm gonna explain this, why I'm not taking this one. Okay, let me just explain, right? Reason why I'm not choosing this. Yeah, this is a high, high, a high, low, high, 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 low. Reason why is because as you can see here, we have a price action here, meaning that this whole price here has covered all this. All right, so now you have to go to the highest one, then going to the lowest point, comparing this and this. Which one is the lowest? Is this one. All right, so this is going to be our higher low. All right, then you can end it right there. All right, so with this, you have what we call a bullish market structure, and when the reason you're tracing is that so that you can be able to adapt easily here. Okay, yeah. And then now the next step, rather, you have to ask yourself these two questions, okay? You guys, once you master trading, man, it becomes, I don't want to say it's easy, but it becomes so smooth, like you can just do this very, very nicely and enjoy that. So as I was saying here, the next step, ask yourself on a bullish market structure, right? What is the main thing that I have to focus on, right? So knowing the properties of a bullish market structure is you have higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so higher highs would be here. This is a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, right? So now I have 2 points. So is that a higher low, if a high low is broken, rather, if a high low is broken, it means that the structure is gonna change, right? Unless you have a fake breakup, okay, which is what we had here. If you look from here, if I can just take this so that you guys can understand this, okay, which is something that we had here, all right? Yeah, as you can see here, right, this was a fake breakout at the time, all right? So if a high low is broken, then it means the whole structure is going to be changed. Rather, let me put it this way. If a high low is broken with proper confirmation that that is indeed a breakout, then you can start considering a change in the trend, all right? But if a high is broken, that just means it's good news because you keep making more higher highs and higher highs, you're continuing the trend. So because here you have so many higher highs and higher lows, you have to focus on the most recent higher high and higher low. So in this case, the most recent one is this higher low and this higher high right here. Okay, so mind you here, you're on the 4-hour time frame, right? Although you don't have to go back, but let's just go back to the 1 hour so that you guys can be able to relate. Here you can just restart 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now you have this. You see how simple it is now, or how simplified it is. Then, like I said, just remember to highlight this, or rather the next step is to make sure that you highlight your most recent higher high and high low. So here the most recent uh, higher low is this one, right? Then I'm gonna highlight that. And for me personally, I like to use a color that's, you know, a bit louder than the, it doesn't even matter. Just highlight this, okay? Right. Then I know that if the price comes at this level, I know what to do, right? So point number one, this is can also be used as a TP area, and the point that I just explained, the issue of breaking out and stuff, right? So for example, if you happen to take a sell trade from this level, you can hold your cells up until all the way here. Okay, this would be your overall TP, right? Then vice versa when it comes to this higher high here, okay, something like this. If you happen to take your buy trades while you're somewhere here, wherever it is, somewhere you can use this as an overall TP, all right? But now the problem, if you get a break above here, right, where do you go? Because this is like the highest point of this whole NASDAQ price, all right? So that is something for another day, okay? If you want to know how we actually come up with those things, just make sure that you get our mentorship, okay? Like, so, like where is the next TP? That's what I'm saying here. If you want to know how or where like the next TP is going to be from, if you break out here, since this is the highest point, make sure you check us out on our mentorship and all that stuff. So here, for now, we're going to be focusing here, okay? So after you've highlighted this higher low and this higher high, you just have to focus what's inside between this high low and this high high. So here you can do the simple thing that you did when you started. Just make sure you trace this, or you can consider this as your lowest point and right here this as your highest point. Check where is the price starting. Is it starting at the lowest point or at the highest point? So in this case, it's starting here at the lowest point, and obviously the price moves from the left to the right, meaning that you're gonna start reading this price from the lowest to the highest, okay, meaning that this is what a bullish or rather an inside structure that is bullish. Okay, I say inside structure because it's a structure that is inside a bigger structure. Remember, the bigger structure, the red one, is bullish. So now you want to focus on the inside structure. You can trace this here, connect this higher highs and high lows here. Although at times this could be a little bit tricky, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we can use that. Okay, here, like I'm saying, at times this can be a little bit tricky. So okay, we have the you know what? No, let me just leave it there. And then then here, and then you can continue to focus on the most recent one, which would be this one here and that other one right there. Okay, you guys, meaning that you'd have something like this. All right. So now, let's just make this a different color. So now, you guys, you have 2 points, right? Remember what I said? If you happen to take your cell right from here, you'd have an overall TP1 here, okay? TP1, then TP2 here, right? If you happen to take your cells here with proper confirmations that you'd have that. But another good thing or good point about this infrastructure, you can use it in the sense of like, okay, since remember, since you're on a bullish trend, right, the best thing you could do is follow the trend, right? Meaning that, okay, I recommend that you only look for buys since we're on a bullish trend, right? But considering that we are now focusing between this blue structure here, which is the inside structure, remember, don't get lost, right? So it's also a bullish market structure, meaning that if you go inside there, when you go into more detail with the structure, meaning that now you're focusing between this high low and this high high, the blue one here, all right? So if this is broken, right, in terms of the inside structure, okay, temporarily, this inside structure is going to change from bullish to bearish. Okay, this is how you adapt. Okay, so meaning that for now, as long as you're still above here, okay, you can look for your buys. Okay, which is the best thing. All right, avoid any sells until maybe you get a break below here. Okay, then with proper confirmations, you can take those sells, and then this will be a TP. Okay. Okay, you guys. Then here, if you get a rejection, remember this is the same as a support and resistance area. If you get a rejection at this support, you can continue to get your buys up until all the way there, right? I hope this is very, very clear. This is not a complicated thing. You just have to understand like the time frames and the structures, because it's the same thing. The difference is that we have a bigger structure and a small structure. Okay, so and then here I'm very sure if like we go maybe to like, let's say 15 minutes, right, time frame. Okay, then this is what I was saying here. You're gonna focus between this high low and this high high here, and whatever it is that is happening here. The only thing that you'd have to add here would be an area of support and resistance, because you can see obviously here that we have some sort of area of support and resistance here, because the price keeps rejecting and all that stuff, right? So if I may show you guys here as an example, maybe something like this. Okay, then just make it a different color. It doesn't matter, the color doesn't matter, right? Just as long as you guys understand something like this, all right, then you'll be able to like actually adapt here and all that stuff. But my recommendation, you guys, is just make sure that you always look for those what do you call this, look for the buys, because you're in a bullish market, all right? So in order to avoid any sort of mistakes, whatever the case, okay, look for your buys. So obviously, for me and the VIP groups, like, we know how to adapt to these things, because there's some entry, there's what you call an entry strategy. Okay, like you follow some rules for you to get those proper entries depending on the type of market structure that you have. So from here, okay, you can still follow and look for those buys somewhere here. Maybe you can add like an arrow support resistance. Okay, but you know, and as I always say when I show you guys this, always be cautious because you have uh this is an index that is very much affected by the news. Okay, like fundamentals. If maybe they release news for Tesla or Apple, Amazon, or whatever it can be, or maybe Netflix, they release some news, this is going to be affected because this is an index that tracks the performance of those companies. Okay, so be cautious of that. Always make sure that you know your economic calendar and all that stuff, you guys. So hopefully this has been a fruitful analysis and you have learned something. Just make sure you give us that subscription if you haven't, um and turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified when we upload the next time. And this is it from me, guys, and I'll see you on another video.